Why don't you do the opening?
I don't know, bro. We can just get into it.
Get into what?
Get into this episode of Bread for Toast.
Hey, alright.
Smooth.
So close. Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 24 of Bread for Toast. It is just me and the big man himself today.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been,
Since we've had quality time together.
I think, 9 episodes. The last one, where it was just us, was The Bachelor's Swan Song, which was a year ago.
Was that right after the
Exhibition.
exhibition?
And the exhibition is this Saturday, this year's version. So it's right
We're in
about-
those waters.
It's like 51 and a half weeks ago. Which we haven't done that many episodes. When you think about it, in 51 and a half weeks, there's like 8 episodes.
I mean, that is like from 12 months, 8 of them there was an episode.
Not really, because we did like 5 months.
Yeah,
Potato. Today,
tomato.
we are going to do one of probably the final uni story episodes, or uni stories, uni themed episodes. So enjoy them while they last, guys, because
I know you guys really love them. Everyone loves hearing about uni.
they absolutely adore it. But anyway,
Especially as soon as summer starts.
that's why it's good. It's good because we're going to be talking about university units from hell. And when I say that, I mean the exams and the assignments. I don't mean like the unit itself could be fine, right? But we have to focus on the amount of stress and the absolute shit that we went through to submit the assignments. Because most of our stuff were assignments. There are a couple of exams, but most were assignments.
Normally the assignments, I mean, apart from the fact that we had more assignments than exams, so obviously there's more of a chance that an assignment is pretty fucking annoying compared to an exam.
Mm-hmm.
But we had some pretty annoying assignments, eh?
We had a lot of annoying assignments. And I have a list. Because
I also have a list.
we spoke about which units we would be mentioning before we started. And let me find it. Okay, I found it. So, in this list, there's nothing from third year, funny enough. So this is a throwback, guys. This is first year and second year uni.
Should we start with why there was probably nothing in third year, or should we leave that till the end?
No, we can start with it.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jan, we didn't have the exact same units. There was some disparity in our third year. Also, third year we only had units during the first semester.
They were easy.
And they were pretty fucking
They
easy.
were easy. I mean,
Also, they were all your choice. So you choose
exactly.
the unit
The hardest thing I could say is advanced game AI, but we already have game AI in second year, so I'm just gonna say
If this was a list of the most controversial units, there is one, but we won't get into that.
In third, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I know.
But we can't. Yeah.
The debate. Oh, the debate.
But that wasn't a unit from. I mean, it kind of was because we did get extra work. It is what it is. It wasn't that bad.
I forgot about it, to be honest. I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it. Anzi,
Yeah, I didn't mind it a
tort ta' uħut minn nies li blajna koċ xogħol żejjed. Imma it is what it is. It is what it is. There's also the thesis, but we said that, or the final year project, but we said that's banned because it's low-hanging fruit.
The thesis wasn't even that bad, Mado, to be honest.
I beg to differ. In my case, it was pretty shit.
Yeah,
May was horrible.
It is pretty stressful to do. It's expected. It's your final year project. It's your thesis.
So it's banned for that reason as well. So we're going to start with first year, first semester. We are going all the way back to 2021 and also a couple of months into 2022. But let me take you back, because I don't think people realize how much has changed in such a short time. In 2021 and 2022, that entire first year of uni, we wore masks.
Yeah.
We wore masks for all of first year until mid-2022.
We wore masks. They would take our temperature and we'd get the
wristband every single day. And we were super hybrid. Like, we had more lectures off campus than on campus, I think.
Although I think was it in second year we started easing off it?
Yeah, second year for sure. But we're still in first year right now. So that's like, I got COVID for the first time in 2022. And we were still like in the thick of it. I knew I was gonna fucking do that. We're still in the thick of it when I got it, but then a year later, no masks and so on, like
Yeah.
relax the job as a comment.
Bro, a year later I forgot like COVID was a thing.
It's crazy how quickly it just changed, but
I mean,
it was crazy first year, how different it was from second and third year. It's completely like alien kind of thing, and I think that's why maybe I have such fond memories of first year and like this nostalgia associated with it, because it's only been 3 years. But like, man, it's been 3 years already. You know, it's like that's like the line of thought. Okay, despite it being so still, you know, COVID heavy, we met so many people in first year.
yeah, I mean, when we went into university, we were a pretty like decently sized group of people who knew each other already going into the course.
There was like 8 or 9 people.
Yeah, from a course that at that point was like 32 we started, so like it's almost a third of the entire course. But we did very, I think it was pretty relatively quickly. We had a few like online stuff we had done to meet people.
We had Stupid, who joined us on the last episode, Emma.
We can say her name.
Yeah, we can, but it's funny to use the nickname. Who we met almost immediately. Who else did we meet almost immediately? We also met our third host, basically immediately at the first weekend there. Another Emma. Then who else? They haven't been on the show, but
we met Luke very early
DJ, DJ, of course. We met DJ. I mean, we kind of knew him.
I'd spoken to him once before on a Discord call.
Playing Among Us.
Oh my we spoke for so long, but after that, because people then left, I remember that call. They left the game, and me and the DJ just kept talking. We spent like 2 hours. I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's kind of chill. I will continue talking.
The lore that would follow. Who would have known? Who would have known? But yeah, so we're back in first year. Let me get over my melancholic, nostalgic feelings. And in first semester, there wasn't anything too tough. There was one outlier when it comes to difficulty units, and it happened to be the only unit with an exam in first semester as well. And that is mathematics of discrete structures, aka discrete maths. Now, you're going to be like, oh, but it wasn't that tough, Jan.
No, discrete maths was tough.
Okay, alright, because I thought you were gonna... Because we did very differently in discrete maths, in terms of results.
I didn't do very great.
Yes, but I got... I cannot say the result I got and leave it on the internet. That's how bad my result was the first time around. And you didn't need a resit, I did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, discrete maths was a very annoying unit, where although there is maths in the name, there's absolutely no numbers in it.
Yeah.
It's all proofs, it's all letters, it's all... I've forgotten everything already.
Same.
And... okay, I have to...
To be fair, going into university, the like second years, at least like I talked to, they all said, first year, first semester, discrete math, that's like a big hurdle. Well, not just for our course, because it was a shared course by software dev,
like
computer science.
Students.
So, like it was a pretty challenging unit. Like it's different. The thing was, it was very different.
And it's challenging not due to the lecturer, because the lecturer
it was pretty
like
good.
Legend. Like Anki, the help for those who had to do the resit, like Prof. Legend. It was just a really difficult and annoying unit.
Yeah, the subject is difficult.
And this was 100% exam. Because when we come to second year, we had something that's sort of built on discrete maths that did have a bit of leeway in weekend assignments, but discrete maths was all in this one paper. And I can speak for myself. That semester, there were no actual units from hell like discrete maths, because discrete maths was just so difficult. But there were a lot of units, chock-a-block, all on top of each other. And I remember one of these units was data structures, where we were using R. It was like the only time we ever used R. Was it data structures?
No, it was data science.
Data science. And this was a group project.
Was it in
It
that
was
year?
2 people.
It was in that year.
It was a 2-people group project. So a duo project, And the guy from my group, I could not use any of the work he did. So I had to redo his section from scratch and my section. And I wasted so much time to just submit something, which, by the way, apart from discrete maths, that is my like second lowest scoring unit, data science. That's how badly we did, because I had to try and cobble something together. And this was due a couple of days before discrete's exam. So I'm there
I remember this.
completely.
I remember you have
losing
like
my
messaging
mind.
me. It's like, bro, I was like, this shit is killing me.
Oh.
I do not think I'm gonna make it.
And it's not I cannot call data science.
No,
unit
data
from
science
hell.
isn't a very difficult unit.
No, it's just having to do
It's just
all
a compounded
that. Oh.
on itself. We had to get it done at the end.
And I naively waited until the last week for my partner to give me his portion. Lessons were learned, and that resulted in I did like basically zero revision for discrete. I don't think any revision would have saved that result, to be honest, but that was semester 1, and I feel like it's a bit of a difficult one to talk about, because the difficulty is just that it's a difficult unit. There's no assignments to bitch and moan about.
Yeah.
It's just a difficult unit. That is not the case in semester 2. In semester 2, we had operating systems and programming 1,
In semester 2, it's kind of the opposite.
where the exam was easy and the assignment
Yeah.
was completely yes. Alright, before we move on to operating systems and assignments, or programming 1, which we're just going to call OS or operating systems for ease of reference, is programming principles in C an honorable mention? Because it's not from hell, maybe it's from the lower levels of purgatory.
Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult unit, mainly because I'd never used C.
Yeah,
or
and the assignment, like we had to back it up on GitLab instead of GitHub, and
It was the first time most of us were using it. Like personally, it was the first time.
they wanted us
using
to
it.
use like Git Bash as well to comment
Yeah.
and so on. I'm an avid GitHub desktop user. I swear by GitHub desktop.
I
love
also
it.
really like GitHub. At work, we now use GitLab, so I've gotten used to
okay.
it. But
Are there any
GitHub,
benefits to GitLab over GitHub?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
It is what it is. But then, so that's honorable mention. It's not quite enough. I mean, to be fair, it set my laptop on fire, but
Yeah,
that's the line more than the assignment. With operating systems, this was because we said the exam is easy and the assignment is hard. The exam is easy because we prepared for it. 'Cause-
yeah, the exam is easy because the exam is probably not written to challenge the people, in the sense like
it's complete memory work.
yeah.
So the exam, because I remember exactly what I did. I looked at the past papers. This was back in 2022. So I looked at all of the past papers for the past that we had access to for like the
maybe
past
they would
8
pass like
years.
no, it wasn't.
We
I think
never-
it was like 3 years or 4 years. It was not a lot.
We had though because of the ICTSA website. We had all the
We
ones.
did, yeah, right.
That's why, and it was like one big merged document. They weren't split by unit. I remember.
I
Hell
remember
to
this,
go
alright.
through. But okay, let's say those. Actually, I remember as well having like 3 years on the VLE. All the questions were identical from year to year.
Or if they weren't identical, they'd be the same question with a few numbers turned around just
Exactly.
to make it a bit different.
Basically,
essentially the same
There
stuff.
were 3 identical exam papers, basically.
Yeah.
You know, identical in the sense that it's the exact same question. If they might change.
Unfatti, if you remember, there was a lecture where, because at this point, most of the people who had this unit, at the end they just didn't.
Yeah, this
go
was
to
like
the
a
lectures
Q&A
anymore.
lecture.
Yeah.
And it was like a unit of like 100 students.
Or at one point, it was a lecture which was just me, Jan, or someone
one other
else,
person.
and one other student.
So 3 out of like 120 students.
While
showed
we
up
were
to the
there,
lecture.
I don't know who it was. It might have been me who asked this.
I think so.
Emma, it was something along the lines of, "Oh, sir, these questions, they all look like kind of familiar. Is there like if we follow this pattern, is this like there's a good chance that this is the exam?" But he kind of told us, "It's not me telling you this. If I were you, I just really look at the past papers, like really look at the past papers."
That lecturer was so chill. His
The lecturer.
PowerPoints were great as well. He kept putting anime posters in the legend.
In fact, when I went for the exam, I remember clearly like 2 days before I had gone over all of the past papers and I had worked them out. I just looked at the answers again. I went to the exam, I opened it, I started going to the questions.
You forgot your ID card, first thing you did.
I forgot my ID card.
I said they let you sit for it.
That wasn't. I forgot my ID card twice during uni, bro, for exams. I sat down. I looked at the paper. I see one of the questions. It was like a calculation question. It had the exact same numbers from the previous year. Exactly the same numbers. After that, I wasn't sure. So what I did, I very sneakily, I like grabbed the pen, like wrote on my arm. I wrote like the answer I got. I hid it. But as soon as I went out, I took a photo of it with my phone. But when I got home, I compared it. I was like, damn. It's the exact same answer. It was the exact same question.
So with operating systems, how the exam paper was is that there were 4 modules. Module 1 was obligatory. And then module 2, 3, and 4, you had to pick 2 out of 3. And when what I did to prepare is I took those past papers and I made model answers and on every single question. And the thing is that I started studying a week before. So the exam was on a Friday, I think.
Yeah.
And on the Saturday and Sunday before, and up until a week before, I had done nothing. So then the Saturday and Sunday before, I spent the entire days watching. On Saturday, I spent all day watching season 1 of 86, and on Sunday, I spent all day watching season 2 of 86. So I was like, oh, I have 4 days, and I haven't done anything. I haven't revised a single thing. I hope my parents don't watch this.
You clutched up.
And then I was like, okay, you know what? I have 4 days. It's time to lock in. And I did 4 days of, I was like, okay, module 4, barra. Modules 1, 2, and 3. And I just spent 4 days cramming stuff, and asking my parents to ask me the questions, and I'd recite them from memory, so on. And I went for this exam, and it wasn't seeing the exact same numbers. I opened the paper, and I saw the same questions. I flipped through it. I was like, yes! And then the person in front of me turned around, like, the fuck is wrong with you, man? I was like, yes! And that was great. That was great. I cannot say the same for the assignment.
Yeah, the assignment was pretty tricky.
The assignment was very, very annoying. Mainly,
it was convoluted.
Exactly.
That was the thing. It wasn't particularly too difficult.
In hindsight, I say this is it, but back then...
In hindsight, most of the projects at university are nothing too special.
Exactly, but in that moment, I remember the exam was on June 2nd. It was really early, the exam. And the assignment was due end of June, the last day of the semester, June 26th. And I had not started this assignment until the exam, because I said, Ivan, but I call it let's ġemat. I hated this assignment so much. You had finished it by this point. I spent a week working on it. I spent a week pestering you when I'd get stuck. And after a week, it had 5 parts. I did parts 1, 2, 3, and I kind of did part 4. And I just completely left part 5 out, and I submitted it. I said, I don't care. I'm submitting this. Now, the assignment was 40%. How was it?
Yeah, it was 40%.
40%, and the exam was 60. Or 70 and 30, شي حاجة هيك. And I got an 88 in the exam. So I got then an 88 in the unit overall. So I checked what mark I got on the assignment. And on the assignment, I got 87. And this doesn't make any sense. I'm going to explain why it doesn't make any sense. Like I just mentioned, the assignment had 5 modules. Module 5, the one I left, I didn't even attempt it, was worth 15%. So how could I get 87?
Yeah.
But then I've come up with
a theory.
Because that would have to mean that all other 4 modules were perfect. And he found a place to give marks as well. In module 2 of that assignment, we had to make patch notes for the OS. And one of the things in brackets was, make me laugh for extra marks. Remember?
Yeah.
And me being a fucking loser or nerd, I did probably what 90% of the course did. And I made the last patch note, removed Herobrine. A cheeky little Minecraft Easter egg that they have stopped doing. And I guess I did modules 1, 2, 3, and 4 perfectly.
And he liked that joke,
So there's plausible deniability.
I don't remember how I did in that unit. To be fair, I don't remember how I did in most of the units.
Fair enough. No, that was my best unit from first year, so I remember it. But that assignment was hell.
It was pretty difficult, that assignment. It was something we weren't used to
exactly. I think that's the main crux of the issue, and that I think is why programming principles in C did not warrant the same level of discussion, because it was just the first time we had that kind of unit.
Exactly. I think Ara, in uni, in hindsight, none of the project. Yeah, to be honest, there's only one project that I still think was very difficult. It was a third year project I had. I don't think you had the unit.
Okay. No, I do think there are some second year assignments that are.
Otherwise,
evil.
I don't think there were any particularly that were like evil, for example.
No, I think there were a couple in second year. I think, to be honest, in second year,
which we can start moving into.
Exactly, because that's it for first year. We move into second year, first semester, which, by the way, guys, is the semester with the most units in this video. In first year, we had first year, first semester with 1 unit. We had first year, second semester with 1 unit. Second year, first semester has 4 units. It has 4 units. And there are 5 units left that we're going to discuss in this episode. 4 of them were in this semester. So you know what we're going to do? This semester was pretty difficult. Before we get into second year, we're going to check how long we've been going for as well. So we're going to transition. It's going to be slightly misaligned and it's going to look really bad, because I did that cut on a video I was working on last week and I was like a millimeter off and it looks terrible. But that's fine. We're going in to second year, guys. Now, second year, first semester. And
should we, at the end of this, since this is the semester with the only semester with more than 1, should we rank them at the end?
Yes, and then at the very end we do a complete ranking. At the very end we do a complete ranking of all of the things?
Yeah.
Rather than just this semester?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the very end we'll rank how horrible they were. But man, you know how sometimes you'll be scrolling Insta Reels or TikTok and there's like, I forgot how it's worded exactly, but it's like when I'm being interrogated and they threaten to send me back to second year, first semester at university. I got that exact reel specifying that exact year and semester. And I was like, wallahi bro,
that's a tough year to go back to.
That's a tough fucking semester. This shit that was going down, both academically and non-academically, shit was happening this semester.
What was going on?
Shit was. We'll get into it, okay? Don't just let me get to it, because I can build, and you're gonna see how this was an absolute semester from hell. And there are some things that I can tell you, and I will reference that you guys, the listeners, only a very select few of you know what we're going to be referencing, and you'll see when we get to them.
Alright.
So let's start back in October 2022.
Walk me through these. I looked at the list. Walk me through these in the order you want to, and I'll give my input.
Okay, let's start with, let's get the easiest one out of the way. Game AI. We've had 2 episodes talking about the game jams.
I mean,
you guys know what the issue with game AI is. You have 1 month only to learn Unity, and then you're chucked with a random team with a random topic to make a game in 42 hours, and you have to sleep in those 42 hours.
Maybe.
If you sleep, maybe optional. The third game jam, I
Optional.
slept for like 4 hours. Out of the second game jam in third year, and it was hell this time round because of I feel like, in at least in the case for most teams, I cannot say this for my team, but most teams, their third years were severely underprepared. That's something I can confidently say was not an issue when I was a third year, because me, and I can speak for myself, but I can also say that my friends, you know, we had Dean, we had Emma, we had Luke, DJ, they did not leave their group. We had Mark as well. Mark was on the show.
Mark was on the show.
Wow, bro, we've had guests, huh? We've had guests. They all like went way more prepared than our third year. I can't say that for my group. My group, kelli wieħed Gabe kemm inħobbu dan, legend, he carried, kellna l-medbar ukoll, who really took care of us.
I think the second years I had, it's not that they weren't prepared, they knew their stuff, but they didn't bring pre-written stuff.
When was that? Oh look, my mom arrived, guys. Let's do a cut here. And we are back. Put your phone
Give me
away.
a second.
Put your phone away. We're talking about, but I mean, we've said and all there is to say about Game AI in
Yeah,
those
I
two
mean,
episodes. You guys should go.
It's just the
and-
format
and
that's a
listen
bit
to them, yeah.
uncomfortable otherwise.
If you have further questions, episode 5 and episode 7, I think, or 8.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm pretty sure the second.
Oh wait, you're right. Yeah, so it must have been like
Pretty
episode
sure
11.
the second game jam was like a double-digit one.
It must have been episode 11. Check our list. Check our list. But yeah, anyway, that's basically it with Game AI. It's just an annoying format. Especially last the second year, you're not expected to lead, and you don't have the authority that the third years have. So, Oiva, what episode number was it?
I can't find it.
Bro.
Oh no, it is. It's 12.
12. Okay, that's close. That was Game AI. And I think before we go...
That's the lightest of the
That is the lightest.
of the
because-
4 horsemen of
and
this semester.
That was the lightest because by December the game jam was done. 2 months.
Oh, but you just need
into
to
the
write the
semester.
report,
and then
which
the
is-
report exactly, which was done by January.
So it was one of those units that it kind of forces you to just finish
Exactly.
it quickly.
Still wasn't fun time, but it finished quickly. The next is a unit that was hell. I don't think for you, but for me and for DJ, this unit was hell. This was another pair assignment. You were with Zaku, but I was with DJ, with Luke. Web intelligence.
I don't remember this unit.
Where we had to do it on Jupyter Notebook of the sports statistics.
I do remember this unit.
This unit.
I do remember this unit. I do remember you
This
writing to me
unit.
about this unit. No, for me, it wasn't too bad.
Bro, this unit.
It really, I mean, it had like a big workload.
Oh,
Other than that, none of it was particularly too complex.
the issue is that I was on a group assignment with DJ. DJ, or Luke, whatever, was going to Sweden for like a month. Like really soon, like towards the submission period of this assignment. So there was this like really hectic period where DJ was trying to finish everything
On his end.
on his end, and I needed to consult with him because I was stuck on this project. Because how we had split it was there was like task 1 that was 20%.
I'm pretty sure like task 1 was like the data preparation.
But task 1 was it wasn't even related to the sports thing, so we had 2 tasks.
Oh, right, yeah,
remember?
yeah,
Task 1
yeah.
which was like 20%, and then task 2 which was like 80%. And in task 1, DJ did that entirely by himself. I never even opened the brief of task 1. Luke just did all of that. And then task 2, I said, okay, I'm going to do, 3/4 of it. And then the last part, where what was that special software we had to use at the very end? We had to import it into this annoying program.
It was like the graph shit. Oh.
Exactly, we had to import it into this like graphing program to derive certain conclusions. And
If you remember, leave it as a comment.
yes, if any of you who did this assignment, remember it, leave it in a comment.
And
in
also
YouTube
like
or
and
on
subscribe.
Spotify, and like and subscribe. Yeah. And I remember I had just started working on the first part, and lo and that I did something stupid. Because I was talking to Dean, who we had on episode 5 and 12, about how.
What are you gonna say when we mention someone on what
Yes.
episode they were
Yes.
on?
He did this. Because I spent 3 weeks to a month doing this assignment. He did it in like a week flat. I was like, how did you do this in a week flat? I imported all of the data manually into the local disk, and I was accessing it like that. He was importing it with a command line because it was Python. I like downloaded
Which
the
was
whole-
how we were supposed to do it.
I don't know, man. I think so, but because I used the command line
I don't
to.
think we had to do it, man.
I used the command line.
We were
No,
doing-
it wasn't manual. For sense, he was accessing it through a cloud link.
Yeah.
Through not an
Well, you
API
installed it or
exactly.
held it locally?
I used the command to download it locally. Oh man, the length that the folder paths was atrocious. And I remember I would spend like until 1 in the morning working on something, working on a task, and then getting completely stuck. And I'd like message Luke and I tell him, Luke, ejja ħandlu call, let's get this over. U jitħol call, u kien ikun fawdex, Luke. He has like a bird or a budgie in the background like screeching, you know? And his mic, he didn't have like a headset, he was using his laptop mic. Okay, like kien jaħdem kien bot li ritratt like l-uffiċċju kienet like bitħa taħt it-tareġ, like fucking Harry Potter setup. And like trying to share screen u kien ikollu leg u l-mic was on. Oh my god. But we used to manage because I would be staring at something for 5 hours and not being able to figure it out. And he'd look at it. And within like 20 minutes, we'd solve it. And when we submitted that assignment, there's a Discord chat where there's 3 accounts in it. My main, Luke's account, and then my alt account. And my alt account, I like the last message I like read on that chat was a week before the deadline. And I never opened it again. When I logged back into my alt, I saw like 3,100 messages we sent in a week in that chat, me and Luke, to finish this blessed assignment.
Damn.
But we did it.
You did. No, I mean,
that was not fun.
I did not struggle that much, to be honest, with this assignment. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, that was not fun.
It was a lot of work.
Now we are coming to
these two are the...
These two are probably going to be the top 2. And these are units that were shared as well. They weren't AI exclusive units. And let's start with the low-hanging fruit. Formal languages and automata. If you think that discrete maths was bad, formal languages and automata was discrete maths. Stop using your phone.
Give me a second.
Damn phone
I'm listening.
mobile. Always on your mobile.
I'm listening.
It's making for bad content. Put your phone down. Stop it. Tot tibat. Li minnet tibat.
My parents.
Issa nċempel nejdlu.
Bro, dox my dad.
Navel Blair, don't worry. I'm my hey.
Kiddo. Hey,
this is like one time he changed his profile picture on your cover photo. And you like did a stupid photo on purpose. And somebody in the comments...
He put like a gif of a monkey.
A monkey. And I like saw that. I messaged David, Tamino kellimio. And he's like, oh, that's my dad. I was like, oh. Formal languages and automata. If you thought discrete maths was bad, formal languages and automata
that's
was
way worse.
Discrete maths on steroids. And like, because it kind of builds on it, but not really. Because you need discrete maths to do formal, but it's comparing them is not right. Because there is further discrete maths.
That unit, I believe, is in my heart of hearts, is a very unfair unit. I think. Both in terms of the assignment portion as well as the exam portion.
Alright, so let's start with the assignment portion. We had 3 weekend assignments. And when we say weekend assignment, we mean kien jiġi l-lecturer nar l-ħamis. Jew nar l-ġimgħa.
Ħamis.
Nar l-ħamis. Le, nar l-ġimgħa.
No, it used to be a Thursday.
Thursday double lesson and Friday 1 lesson.
But he'd give us the task on Thursday.
Yes, as that. And so then we could like look at it on Thursday evening,
so
cry.
He'd come to the lecture, he'd be like, all right,
weekend assignment.
This week, weekend assignment, enjoy. He'd give us a task, we'd have to get it done, he'd give it to us. He'd upload it Thursday evening, so at around like 5. Or we'd have till Monday at like 6.
I'm getting PTSD thinking about these things.
You know, it's like a handout essentially. It's like 2 pages, 3 pages.
It's so misleading because it is 4 questions max.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, 4 questions?
What's 4 questions?
Bro.
But each question takes you like 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours? 4 or 5 hours? Hannina, this was a weekend
Because it would be like, question 1, A, B, C, D, E. Question 2, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
This was
question
a weekend
3,
assignment. That took all of Saturday and all of Sunday. It wasn't a weekend assignment where you would spend half of Saturday on it. This was when he says weekend assignment, he doesn't mean do it during the weekend. He means it's going to replace your weekend. And it was, maybe the 2-3 hours per question was for weekend assignment 1, which was only worth, like, this was something with this unit. In most other units, these periodic assignments or these shorter assignments would be 30% and the exam would be 70%. This time round, the assignments, there were 3 of them, only amounted up to 20%.
Originally, he was gonna do 30, but he was like, wait, no, I think 20% is better. He changed it.
And he really didn't have to.
No, he did
because
not.
these things should have been worth 50% or 50% exam. Because these were hell. And the first one he gave it to us, that was like the first shock. Like, I remember we had a Discord, an AI Discord, and we were all in this Discord. We had like 4 channels. I had to make more channels for working because so many people were on call
doing this
on
together.
This thing. Like, it's a kinau studenti where they'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do questions 1 and 2, you do questions 3 and 4, and then we just give them to each other. I personally don't like that. I don't trust myself to do something for somebody else, and I don't trust somebody else to do something for you. Irrid nifhimha wkoll il-ħaġa. And
especially if there's an exam at the end.
Exactly, and that first one was
the second
one was even worse. And the second one was even worse for a particular reason. And we've mentioned this on the podcast before, in episode 4, Weekender 2, because he gave us the second weekend assignment lining up with the Weekender.
So for the 2 half and 2 days we had of the Weekender, that was the weekend of the assignment.
And like we just said, these assignments would take your whole bloody
So
weekend.
there were people who Thursday evening they stayed up till 3 in the morning to get it done. There were some people like me and DJ, we got on a call, we started this, and not we got on a call, I went to his house. We spent till 10 there. We got the first 2 questions down. But I went home, I ate something, went to bed. In the morning, woke up. We had the lecture in the morning, but after some of us were going to someone else's house.
To keep working on it.
But before we went to the
Weekender?
I didn't do that. Instead I went to DJ's place again. Me and him kept working on this. He finished it, I did not. I remember we then went to the Weekender. We went to this person's house a bit later on. I continued working there. I went to the Weekender. I did half a question at the Weekender. When I went back home, I did the last full question on Sunday evening.
I remember
a bit of a clusterfuck.
I cannot remember exactly how I did the first half of this paper. I think I did it on Thursday evening, kif edin tgħidu, because everybody was doing it. I think I stayed up until 1, so not Thursday evening, or going into Friday morning. I think I stayed up till 1 and I got this first half done. But then I was so out of it, I was like, no, I'm going to do the rest tomorrow. After, I didn't go to DJ's house. I was with Dean.
Yeah.
I went with Dean to his house, in a completely different locality. And not to work on it, just to pick up his suitcase for the Weekender. And then, from there we went to this other person's house where all of the group was meeting, and everybody there by the time we arrived, because they, instead of going either to Luke's house or to Dean's house, they went straight there. Some of them had already finished it.
So all of them had already finished it.
No, not all.
Yes.
They were checking it there though.
They were checking, but they had finished it.
They did have to rework.
From the infamous server.
The Pogger
server.
Yes, they had to, but they did have to rework
infamous
it.
As if I wasn't in that.
They had to rework it. What I remember is I arrived with you, I think, or close around with you. And
you arrived a bit before us.
And I was like, no, I'm finishing it here. And I remember you and Dean not finishing it.
But then, because I started, I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore. Or I stopped.
I
could have, I just didn't want to.
I knew that if I didn't do it there, I wasn't going to finish it.
I didn't want
So I just had to knock it out.
I remember what they did, have a question in the room at the Weekender.
That's crazy, especially in those rooms. Oh, but
you remember there was like a tiny table. There was a chair, I pulled out the chair,
God.
Cleared the table, was like, all right, time to lock in. I started.
And in hindsight, the third one, as bad as it wasn't as bad.
The third one was easier
as
than
the second one.
The third wasn't easier than the second one. The second one was just in a high stress environment.
Exactly.
Third one, there was no stress.
The third one was kind of stressful for me because I was going abroad on Saturday. He gave it to us on Thursday evening, and Saturday I was going abroad. So my weekend assignment you know. And I remember this was when there was a lot.
But this
of,
one, me and you, we did this together. Went to the Burger King.
We went to Darman Wal Magri. And then we went to Burger
and then
King.
Went to
after.
Burger King after.
Yes, and this we just knocked it out of the park. And but this man, fucking hell. Because it was fun, the third one. Not because it was a fun assignment, but because while we were working on it, there was a lot of things happening that we cannot mention. But you know what things?
Yeah.
December 2022.
After December.
It was in December.
Was it?
It was in December. It was mid-December.
Alright. I'm not gonna disagree.
It was mid-December.
Yes, there was a lot of interesting stuff happening there. But
You know it was December because then it led into New Year's.
Alright.
It was
okay,
mid-December.
Alright. Yeah.
Some of you know what we're talking about.
Some of you don't.
And most of you don't.
Most of you don't.
And the few of you who know what we're talking about are probably
And you can leave a comment in the comments section.
I'm gonna get a message on Discord from a particular person saying, man, shut the fuck up,
You
man.
should not have said that, man.
Shut the fuck up for sure. But anyways, that was the weekend assignments, which all culminated
in
the exam, the 80% exam. Issa, at this point, because I know what you're gonna say, and shut your fucking mouth, because I know what you're gonna say. At this point, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to look at past papers, and I'm going to work past papers. So what did I do for formal languages? We had a lot of past papers of formal languages, more than of other years.
We had like 13 years.
12, 13. So I did from 2023 all the way down to 2011, or 2022, sorry, all the way down to 2011. Apart from the COVID year, I did every single past paper of the February session twice. I did them, apart from the one when it was online rather than in person, because the paper format changed, so it wasn't applicable. So I said, wow, I'm really prepared. Okay, because there were 10 chapters in formal languages. I have completely skipped chapters 9 and 10, but I know chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like the back of my hand, which means I can do 80% of this paper really well. On the morning of the exam...
That's great reasoning, to be fair.
On the morning of the exam, I wake up.
Apart from one thing.
On the morning of the exam, I wake up and I say, I cannot go not knowing anything about chapters 9 and 10. So I go over chapters... I go over chapter 9, basically. Chapter
pumping lemma.
All regular expressions, bro. Oh. And I go to the exam. 80%. It is entirely on chapters 9 and 10.
Issa,
I know what you're going to say. I do not remember. Wait, he's going to say something. I never remembered this. Those who had formal languages with us. So, Zakko, Emma too, Dean, everyone who's listening to this who had formal languages. What he's about to say. Let me know if he ever did say this or not, the lecturer.
So, he said this at one point. It wasn't like at the end of the unit, but it wasn't at the beginning, it was kind of like right in the middle. But he said, guys, he's like, the first weekend assignment will go over like the first 2-3 chapters. Second one will go over the next 3. The third one will go over this next one. Oh, the exam will be like a 4th assignment. Issa, what I understood from that was him telling me that the exam is going to be about the last 2 topics. Because it's like a 4th weekend assignment. So I was like, alright, I studied everything. I was like, I'm going to make sure I really know the last 2 chapters.
In a low post, I knew everything apart from the last 2 chapters.
I remember, like the night before, I was going through them, I was like, yeah, I know these really well. Like, if he's going to ask me about chapter 9 and 10, I'm going to know. In my head, it wasn't the whole exam was going to be about chapter 9 and 10. It was like, the exam will be 80%, 70% chapter 9 and 10, 30% all the other stuff.
And it was also
what I thought.
The very first time ever in all the past papers
it was in this format.
Not just that, he didn't give you the automata himself.
Yeah.
Normally, it gives you one and you build on it. This one, we had to do it completely from scratch. And I remember some people, I forgot what the circles represented, but some people had 3 and some people had 4. And I just, oh my God.
Hey, I remember after the post-mortem, I was like, no, it was 3. There was like 3 circle gang or 4 circle gang.
Oh my God.
There's going to be a circle war.
I remember I was never so happy So when the results came out of this exam, there's this thing called compensated pass, where if the average of all your units is above 50, as long as if you got above 35 but below 45, you'd get a compensated pass.
For 1 unit.
For 1 unit, or for 2, I think maximum.
For 2.
I was never. This was the only thing is this was the only compensatable unit. The rest were all non-compensatable.
This semester, because they were electives.
Exactly. This wasn't though.
This wasn't.
And I remember we were in a lecture of compiler, ma ninsiex. New result come out. Formal language automata, 40 compensated pass. I jumped up to celebrate, you know? Or was it RL? I think it might have been RL.
No, it was compiler.
It was compiler. Kien veru legend il-lecturer. He was like, għaddejtu. I was like, yes! I was so happy.
I remember I did really well in that exam.
You did really well. And I did. You know, let's go back
that
to
exam, I think I got like a 94
Let's
or
go back to the crazy thing. That exam you got 94. So you got like 80% of 94. As part of the unit thing. I got in the assignments, I remember.
For the overall unit, you got a better mark than me.
No.
Yes.
No.
I don't know. No, you didn't.
I got a 40. What the fuck are you saying?
Shay. But in the weekend assignments, you did better.
No, exactly. In the weekend assignments,
I
got
know
a higher
why.
mark.
I know why.
Why?
In the third chapter, we did a question where I read Darman and Magri. We did like the later half of the Dawrak. We're not sure if this is right, but I left it like. But when you got home, you're like, this is not right.
And I sent it to you.
I
told you.
You were like, this is how it should be. We did it wrong. I was like,
you were too lazy to
I was like, I can't
it.
be asked to fix it, so I didn't fix it.
I sent him the solution and he didn't change
I
it.
didn't fix it.
Oh.
So I have like half of that completely wrong.
But I have to give, this lecturer had a few mannerisms that were a bit annoying, but I have to really naqla l-kappell. One, he was a good lecturer. U two, issa naqla l-kappell, and I swear at the way he set up the VLE at the same time. He set up the VLE in such a way that once you submit the weekend assignment, it doesn't automatically submit it. It will back you out of the submission. Trid terġa' tidħol u terġa'
You confirm it.
Issa, I submitted my assignment. This was the third one. Qabel ma sifirt. And I went abroad and so on.
Forgot about it.
Skadit it, deadline and so on. Tiġi, leave eve of the exam. And I said, let me look at my weekend assignments again.
Oh, but there was an assignment.
And I see assignment, submission, late due, 42 days or something like that.
You're like, what?
Oh my
Because
God.
he had said if someone doesn't do the assignment, it's an automatic fail.
Did he say that?
Yes.
I don't
He said
remember
if anyone, as there were people who were like, all right, if it's just 20%, I can just not do them. He was like, if anyone skips one of the weekend assignments, there has to be a submission for each one.
Oh, I remember.
If anyone skips one of them, it's an instant fail.
You know how like sometimes you don't feel one of the big three in your pockets and you feel that cold. Imagine that, but like 100 times worse. And I went just, oh my God. And I like messaged him in a panic. And it's like 6 p.m. when I messaged him. This guy, God bless him, like 5 minutes later he replies. He's like, don't worry, we saw it in the draft and we took it and corrected from the draft. Why doesn't it automatically submit if you can access it anyway? Do you know the absolute answer? Thank God he replied quickly because I was going to have a meltdown.
I remember you messaging me about
Oh
this.
my God, the meltdown I was about to have.
It's probably like home, like playing a game or something. But Jan starts messaging me really stressed.
Oh my God. That was a nightmare. And this leads really perfectly into the final unit from hell for this semester. And once again, it's worse for me than for you because you manage your time better than me. Object-oriented programming. This is a unit that has the lore about this unit. I can tell you, the year after us, I was speaking to somebody who just graduated this time around. He was always a year beneath us. Object-oriented programming, they found it so difficult. U tant kellhom problemi ma' tutor li kienu marru għand il-head of department, mhux ma' tutor, ma' lecturer, li kienu marru rapportaħ mal-head of department u inqala storja sħiħa.
We had a new lecturer.
Nowadays, it is a multiple choice exam. There's no assignment OOP anymore. It's a multiple choice exam. That's how bad. I sent him our assignment and he said, ours was nothing compared. Let me tell you what he said exactly. Hali, I don't misquote him.
It's to be fair, we had a different lecturer.
We had, now we'll get into that.
Ours was like a guest lecturer.
We'll get into that, but let me tell you what he told me. You jumped the gun too much, dude.
I like that
You
project.
jumped the gun too much. He told me, man, yours was bullshit. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. Okay, wow, yours was bullshit. That's what he wrote. And it was. And let me just say what David's saying. In last year, for the second years, who were third years this year, the one from this guy I was talking to, their lecturer was the lecturer of programming principles in C. For us, they got actual software developers from a coding company, right?
One.
No, there were two.
We had
No,
one
there were
guy.
two.
We had one guy.
There were two.
OP was one guy.
OP was two.
No.
There were two.
I don't know if there were
There
two.
were two. One guy always did the lecturers, but there were two there. Hali, when we would split them into groups,
Alright, okay, like
there was one guy who would give the things, but definitely there were two. Definitely.
one of
there
them,
were two.
he used to work in like an iGaming company.
Something like that, yes. Oh, God
Very
bless
nice
them.
guy.
Very nice guy, very good lecturers. Fuck the assignment. So,
Alright, in concept, the assignment is fun.
in concept, not in doing.
Because the concept, the project was.
This is my fault, and let me explain the assignment. Hal, you guys know it's my fault.
There were two parts.
We had
there was
two
one part.
Hana wala jena everything.
Amelanti. This is your story.
We had
this is
task
your pain.
1, which was worth 80%, and task 2. One of these, so we had to use object-oriented programming languages. One of these had to be done in C++, which was the first time we were working with C++, and one of them had to be done in Java, which apart from Python is the language we're most comfortable with. Issa, most people said, okay, Mela, I'm gonna do the big one in Java and the small one in C++. I think that's what you did, that's what I did, that's what the majority of people did. They gave us this assignment in like the first 2 weeks. Issa, we hadn't covered all of the things in class, but they said, Halli, you can start seeing it and
Planning
start
it out,
working
whatever.
on it. I did not do that. I did not look at it in October. I did not look at it in November. I did not look at it in December. I looked at it on December 31st. Because task 2,
You're like, Happy New Year's, let me see this project.
task 2, I was in Gozo, I remember. I took my laptop up to Gozo. I was at the farmhouse. And I said, let me do some work. It was to make Minesweeper in a command line interface. Task 2. Quite simple. And I did maybe what, 2 hours. I thought I got it and I said, okay, that's done.
Easy.
Easy. I did not get
How
it.
difficult can the second one be?
I did not get it. And
The first task and so on.
then I left it again. And I left for a month, another month. Not 2, it couldn't have been 2 months. Because this was due
Like end of February.
February 16th, I think it was due. And
Sorry.
man, this was hell. I remember I was like, fuck, I need to do this. And I have formal languages exam on Monday,
Web intelligence.
which was the last exam before this assignment. Was it formal?
I think it was Foreman.
So,
Foreman was the other one I forgot the ID card for.
you did really well in the exams you forgot the ID card for.
One of them, they made me go home for it.
Istra? Lalo.
First one, a photo was enough. The second one, I can't do photos anymore.
But they let you sit for the exam and then you went after, not they stopped.
I had to go get it in 24
Oh
hours.
yeah, inti mux they sent you there and then u tlift mill-eżami.
Le.
So, we had this exam of formal. U biex meta ħriġ minn dak l-eżami niftakar ukoll, I knew it's gonna be close. Because we had said the day before that if you do well, you were going to order something from Amazon. And if I did well, I was going to order these PSP games from Japan. And we came out, and it was like, Nord, now, and I told you manafx, huh? I told you manafx. And then I had this behemoth of a task of the OOP. And let me tell
I
you...
remember this. I remember it all finished the exams, the summer had started. We was
like
like,
summer.
we actually like the
we had
mid-
like 2 weeks off in between.
But we had
semesters.
a farmhouse coming
a
up.
farmhouse ukoll. Oh man,
So I was excited. I was like, yes, I'm finally free. I have like a week off.
I
A
was
week off for Jan Yasra.
I was descending into the pits of hell because this was the worst thing ever. Let me paint you an even bigger story of how this semester fucking sucks dick and balls, bro. I think this was all in. I can check. I can timestamp it because of Instagram posts. I can tell you
When it went downhill.
when it went downhill. Let me tell you, because of when I posted.
This is the
particular
third unit of the
things.
semester. طلعنا الآخر horseman ورا هذا.
لا, this is the fourth unit of the semester.
Yeah, is it? I've lost count.
So let me tell you guys, because this already happened before. This happened a week before, or 2 weeks before. Da kif għadu, kif għabba, you know. And
You say it. It's so funny when you put it like that.
And as a new to the world of dating, he was very nervous, miskin. I can tell you, the date was 21st January 2023, 2 weeks before the formal exam, and 3 weeks before this assignment was
Was this
due.
when we met up?
Yes, he messages me. Because of course he's gonna message the guy who was never in a relationship, because I have the best
Man,
dating
you're
advice.
like the
Coaches
wise
don't play.
sage.
Exactly, coaches don't play.
Isaac and
And
Isaac.
he needed to meet to discuss his love issues. Whatever.
Oh, bro,
Which
I want to get
issues?
messaged about this.
His miskin, his
Oh.
doubts. Oh, because I want to message her, but I think I'm annoying her and I want to meet, and I think if I like message her too much, I'm gonna be annoying. And I'm like there, trying to be nice, and it's pouring rain. We're walking, Slema, we can see where we're
There's a
walking
hard
from
photo.
there. There's a hard photo, and it's pissing rain. It's raining so much. And then after we've walked in the rain for 2 hours, we're like, fuck it, let's go to McDonald's. Bil-beritta tal-Juve, so on. Niftaħ il-mobile. Juventus deducted 15 points. Ah! What? And I'm in the McDonald's with my Juve hat. And this group of Italians pass by and they say, jibdaw jitħol. I'm like, ah! Oh my god, I'm like, għatin sabbat full mejda.
But I remember you said, man, Allegri dropped the ball. I said, that's bad, right?
I said, Agnelli dropped the ball.
Agnelli. I said, that's bad, right? He's the keeper.
Oh my god, and that was, bro, this is part of...
But then after that, we took the hard photo.
No, before.
No, you were depressed when we took the hard
No,
photo.
it's you, literally, it's moments before disaster is the caption.
Oh, is it?
Basta biex jgħidan, but this is how you get a bit of an idea of why this was hell. Keep in mind, all of these assignments are within, a week of each other. Għax web, umbat is due, umbat kellna il-fucking formal, umbat kellna il-OOP. They were all within these.
Apart from the other units that were not hell.
Exactly, we had many more units. We had many in the semester, biex umbat so we didn't have too many in the second semester. We had RL, I think. Was that in first year, first semester? We had computer vision, I think, as well. Or that might have been second semester, actually. Imma insomma, kellna affarijiet nagħmlu u that was first semester, computer vision.
We had 7 units in first semester to have only 5 in the second.
Exactly. Oh man. So it's all piling, and this fucking OOP. I come on after this formal exam to start working, and I say, let me recheck Minesweeper. It's not fucking working. It doesn't fucking work. So I have 5 days, and I spent the entire first day redoing Minesweeper, and it's not good because the corners, instead of doing it with checks, I hard coded that if it's on this cell, so it's not dynamic, the board is 16 by 16 because the corners and edges are hard coded, and now I know how to do it dynamically. Għax kombinazzjoni fil-Game of Codes, if you go and watch that episode, I talk about this thing where I hard-coded it again. Not because I didn't know the solution that time because I didn't have enough time. But here, again, I just had to get this task done and working so I could focus on the 80% one. On iftakar that night, we went on a call. And you showed me yours, because it was working. And you showed me your classes, and you showed me... On iftakar, I had like, what's it called, a screen recording, I could reference. Oh fucking, you know how long the screen recording was? 55 minutes. And I remember like...
You should have it probably.
I might have it somewhere, now we should check. And I remember, I go like to start work, I'm like, 55 minutes, I didn't even know where to start with this thing. Because it was a village building war game. So what you had to do was command line interface again, no GUI. you get the coordinates in a 2D array to put your village in. It randomly puts a spot for an enemy AI village, and you need to have resource collection, troop training, building, upgrading, and attacking.
Exactly.
So,
Or defending with the troops in the village.
Exactly. So,
Plus, you also need to have a 2-player mode.
exactly. So we have to start. Okay, get the map done. There. You have to make the buildings. You have to make the resource collectors first. Then you have to make the troop training. And you have 3 different types of troops.
Which move at different speeds.
Different speeds, which have different attacks and defense things and so on. Then you have the upgrading buildings. Then you have, and mine, like you can soft lock yourself because you don't start with the ability to gather resources. You start getting 0 every turn until you build. So if you start by training troops, you've soft locked yourself out of getting more resources because you've run out and you don't have enough to build a farm to start getting resources.
And I think that's how. No, I think mine it starts at 1 build, I think.
And after that, you have to be able to go to a village. It sees which troops you're sending. Of these troops, which is the slowest, and that is the
So
assumed
does the
pace.
army moving?
And it goes over several turns. You go there, you attack. Troops can die, troops can so on. You take resources.
If you win, you take resources.
Based on how many they have. You come back and
based
put them in your store.
Based on how much your army can carry.
Lalo, you come back and you put them in your store. And they, in the meantime, can come and attack you. And the same thing. Does that sound like hell? Because it was. And I had 4 days.
I mean, Ara, if you break it down, like nowadays, back then when I did it, this was a pretty difficult project. Nowadays, with Python, it's
We
much
had to
easier
use Java.
We had to use Java. There, with Python in this sense, because Python is not the best language to do this in. In Manga, with Python, you can play around with class
But even
objects.
as well, because you're saying that
So-
because you've done it before, you've done it now. You've
Exactly.
broken it down into the pieces. And I remember
When
we
you
had,
started out, I remember I was pretty lost.
we had to do, what do you call it? The UAD? The diagram.
I know which one you're talking about. I forgot.
We had to do like a high level diagram showing every single process. I forgot what they
Not every process, every class, how it interacts with its
Exactly.
child classes, bl-inheritance u hekk,
I forgot what they called them.
u l-abstraction.
Oh,
Ah.
that was a that diagram alone took me 3 hours to make.
Recently, I looked for the project, I ran
Recently, I
it
looked at the
again.
game AI one, and it had this diagram as well, but I forgot what it was called.
UML.
UML diagram, that's it. And
Imagine
Oh.
I'm wrong.
let me
If I'm
tell you-
wrong, leave it down in the comment.
Look how bad this was. So Monday we have the exam. Monday until Monday evening I do this blessed C. Tuesday they call me off Forestals ili full waiting list sena u nofs għal PS5 wasal il-PS5. I go and get the PS5.
Cannot use it.
I unboxed it, I plugged it in, I used it for 10 minutes and then I turned it off. It spent a week off. I've been waiting for a year and a half. A week off while I'm doing this OOP. And I remember I had just 3 days trudging along, doing this shitty assignment. And I reached a point where I said, okay, there's no way I'm doing the attacking. I've given up on doing the attacking, but I need to get the troop upgrading to work. And I needed David to bounce something off him. So I told him, David, dan nistgħu nitlu call on id-diskutu. This is deadline day. He said to me, okay. So tiġi l-ġurnata, tmur l-interconnector ta' Malta kollha.
I remember
All of
this.
Malta without electricity.
I
And I
remember
still
this.
have to code and submit this assignment. The entire country has no electricity.
Did they not give us an extension about 4
They
days?
did for a day, but how are you going to go and see that they've given this extension without electricity? And I was in the living room, I was on this sofa, losing my mind. I was like,
I think you messaged me shorta.
No, I didn't. The problem is,
You're like, fuck this interconnector, xi
the
ċaġi.
problem is, when it came back, I messaged you. Sadan it-tant, int mort għand in-nannit. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, sick. And
I think
God was on my side that day because in somehow 15 minutes, because I remember the power came back around noon. Lunch was at like 12:30. I went into my room when power came back and I managed to get it working. As soon as I got it working, my parents called me for lunch. Oh, okay, let's start working on submitting it because there were more problems there. we were working, they wanted us to use IntelliJ. What were we using?
No,
As
I
a-
don't think
as
they
an IDE.
specified it. VS Code, I think we were using.
I was using something else.
I was using VS Code. I don't think we were specified something.
Node.js. No, Node something.
Le-
It was of the same suite as C-Lion. What is their Java IDE?
PyCharm.
That's of Python.
Ta Java.
It's the same. It's the same distributors. I think it mhux IntelliJ. It might
Jista
have
jkun intelligent.
been. Insomma, there were .class and .env.
I remember this. Because we had to do this as well. It's bootable as a bash command, as a
exactly
PowerShell command.
as a PowerShell command. Issa, Minesweeper was working. I got it to boot. The Java thing would not boot. It would not. Issa, I hadn't even done the documentation. Documentation ta OOP pastazata. Have you seen my documentation? The screenshots, no pastazata. Nisa, I was really in second year, really finicky on my documentation.
I remember.
Imma
they did
kienet
good.
pastazata, orrur kienet.
Orrur.
And I cobbled something together, and this thing would not run. It would not, and it was telling me version mismatch, and this and that, and I couldn't get it to run. And I was saying, fuck, I'm losing my mind. Issa, that evening, we also had the 5-a-side. Remember? So then at a point, I said, you know what?
Fuck it.
I don't care. I gave them the .class, I gave them the .env, because it said in the brief, if it doesn't run, you will be penalized. No, your marks will be penalized, not you will fail. So I said, I don't care. And I submitted it. Issa, one thing I did as well right after the troop training was I said, okay, I'm not doing this attacking part, so you cannot play it, right? So I'll say, take the grade for what you get so far. I said, let me do an AI. I don't know how I did the AI, but all I remember is if the AI would upgrade a building, it would upgrade yours as well. But not vice versa.
I remember I also didn't finish that project. I didn't implement an AI.
And
My game was strictly 2-player. It could not be played
And
against
with
the
the,
computer.
with the, you know how my AI worked as well? There was no attacking. There were 6 options: train infantry, train archer, train cavalry, upgrade resource collector, upgrade troop. And then it went into upgrade troop, it would upgrade a random one. And it was just a switch case with a rand int and a switch case. That was my AI. And so I said, oh, I have it. And then in known limitations, all I did was, attacking isn't implemented, so there is no way to complete the game. A player can lose if they surrender because an AI will never surrender. I submitted that. Oh my god, it was a disaster. And I remember, I remember the results coming out as well of these units. Because of how our faculty works, all the results come out at one go. Even if an examiner is done, he's corrected them. In discrete maths, within 2 days he had corrected them. But we had to wait 3 months for
the units were like, the lecturers told us, like, oh, everyone passed. But
but
the mark comes out like weeks later.
Months.
Yeah, months later.
Months, 3 months, hours it usually take. And so the way the results were coming out was they started coming out. Wara li jibdew joħorġu, tgħidu okej mela kollu se joħorġu, għax kienu joħorġu department by department. U niftakar, this was in a department OOP, I forgot which department. U another result of that department had come out that day. So we said, okay, bil-force.
Please, coming out.
Bil-force illum trid toħroġ OOP. Issa, li kien ġara, they asked the tutors, they asked them, they asked the lecturers, and lecturers told them, yes, all the results. I remember there was a board of studies meeting, and I don't know if it was the ICTSA or if it was a class rep or a student rep, but they asked them, they said, all the results have been submitted to registrar. Ġifieri, this was just waiting for the batch system to process them and for them to come out. It, naħseb, turns off after a point in the day, or it stops working. It didn't come out that day. It went past 6 p.m. and I remember somebody said la ma ħarġet 6 p.m. issa tintefa' s-sistema u issa toħroġ għada. That was not fun. I woke up the next day. Issa it was submitted. We had that 1 week off. I wake up. Mux at night. The results came out way later. There wasn't that 1 week off. But I remember it was a day off. we didn't have any units this day, and I don't know what the context of it was, but all I remember is we didn't have any units. Or any lectures, sorry. And I wake up at like 6 or 7. I never wake up that early. dik il-ġurnata qomt fis-6 u fis-7 and I check the time on my phone. I see new results published. Oh, what do you think I did? You think I checked the result? No, I turned off my phone. I went back to bed. So then, when it becomes too late to justifiably stay in bed anymore, at 10 a.m., my dad comes to wake me up. He's like, "Eja, għana, x'l-10." I tell him, ħarġet li l-aħħar riżultat. Li kif mort? Għetlu ma nafx. Li kif taf li ħarġu mela? I told him because I saw the notification at like 3 hours ago. So he didn't check it. No, I went back to bed. He said, "Eja, check and come and tell your mother as well." and I was expecting this unit. 50, 45, 40, just a pass. 70, B. What? What? One, because the task 2 wasn't done perfectly. And because task 1 was in such a disastrous state.
Plus, you didn't even have like a good report to back it up.
لا شيء.
So.
And man, that was... Wow. But you know what's another thing that we have to mention? I have to mention about semester 2 that semester 1 that really made it hell. This was... Semester 2 had just started. So this was after submitting all of these assignments. And this was before the results came out. So there was still that panic and worry. And I was still just coming off the stress of the submissions. This is something that very few people are going to understand. This is when the Burger King incident occurred. Because that was in March.
Damn.
Of that year.
That was a difficult semester for you.
That was a very difficult. Oh my!
It was
because then of the Easter holidays.
Echo.
Because of the Burger King incident, and we'll leave it at that.
But we have to go over the last unit.
Yeah, of course. No, we won't leave the episode at that.
Because that's what it sounded like you were doing.
No.
Gonna leave it.
But what we do have to do is check the time, because we have been going for... I ranted for quite a while. I needed to rant. Yeah, I mean, how long did it take me? So... Okay, we went over the time anyway, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to do a snappy transition here. But the audio might be a bit misaligned, because after we go 40 minutes, I was gonna be like, this is a short episode. I went such a rant. Man,
you've been bottled up, bro. About semester.
But you know what?
Year 2.
I loved first and second year uni so much. I loved them so much. As torture as second year was.
You are very nostalgic for those years.
Oh my god, I loved it. And then
we go over the final unit.
You know what the thing is? After what we just been through in that semester, this is gonna seem like, oh, that's it.
This was probably the worst. This was probably the worst unit.
I disagree, but we can debate that, because in second semester
was stupid.
In second semester we had compiler theory, another 100% assignment. Now, I think you should talk about this one more than me.
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't have that much to say about it in all honesty.
This unit was really weird, right? Like previous year, the first weird thing about this unit was it was obligatory.
Yes.
Or 2, it was obligatory for our course only.
Mm-hmm.
So for computer science and software dev, it was
an elective. Some people took it.
Which was really weird, because it made no sense to have a unit about compiler theory in an AI course.
But then not in computer science?
Exactly. Regardless, the unit, the project he gave it to us like first day.
Yeah.
He told us what it was. We very quickly realized it was hell, because we had to essentially make a compiler for this programming language he came up with.
Mm. Which, by the way, had issues, the language as well.
For sense, like, he came up with this language, or he wrote some like code excerpts, but he didn't have a compiler to run the code excerpts. He just dry ran them in his head. So there were problems with the tests he gave us.
Bro, and this somehow, this language tied into like a pixel art display that we could access via virtual machine. This assignment is like a fever dream to me.
It's really. Oh, I remember he was like, you guys can use any language you want. Like the most that would make sense would be like C, Java.
What had we done it in?
I had
C,
done it
right?
in Python.
If you did it in Python, I did it in
I
Python.
did in
as well.
Python. I remember I was like, I'm not dealing with that. This project already feels impossible. I'm not gonna do it in a language I'm not familiar with. I'll just do it in Python.
So if you did in Python, I did in Python. The first step was to build Alexa, the parser.
First step was
and
to build
Alexa.
Elixir, where I already, as soon as I got the first step, I cheesed it. Actually, I used regular expressions. He was like,
Oh yeah, I did.
don't use regular
I
expressions.
did that as well.
I was like, I'm not gonna. I tried. I spent like 2 weeks trying to do it without regular expressions. Could not do it. I said, fuck it. Or I just did it how I thought would be best. Or he deducted marks from that.
As was
The
the
rest-
case with most assignments, I was doing mine way after you.
Yeah.
And you told me I spent 2 weeks and I couldn't do it. I was like, okay, fuck it, regular expressions.
Yeah. But the rest of it was pretty difficult. It like moved along. You'd start rolling.
The thing is, the
There was a lot
shock
of
of
finicky.
this
There was a lot of
finicky
finickiness.
and how it tied into this. I do not understand the assignment well enough to rant about it the same way I ranted about OOP, because on a technical standpoint, compiler is much harder. The thing is, the load was also less.
Yeah.
Because I did compiler in 2 weeks. I said I'm not doing task 5. I'm not doing task 5, and I submitted it with tasks 1, 2, 3, and 4 working well. I think I got like a 70 as well in it.
Okay, I did really well for that. Because I got like an 88 tragic. So I did really well comparatively. Infatti, the whole thing worked perfectly, except for the cheese in the first part. Or there was a very specific case where the program would just like not work as it was.
Alright.
It was like when there was an if statement, or inside if there was a for loop, or if inside the for loop I had another if statement, the if statement would just be ignored.
And
I don't know why.
this programming language was like to get commands for the pixel art display.
It was
right?
to like generate commands which you then put into this Vim to make like patterns or whatever.
Crazy.
It was
That second part was extra, let's be honest,
yeah.
of the pixel art display. I think that's where the main confusion came as well.
Yeah.
And like, that was it. I have to give him credit. Kien veru alright il-lecturer.
Le, he
Kien
was
iżomma
very nice.
l-inter, imma parti me kien
He was very
veru
nice.
alright.
He like meta kien ikollna problemi u we'd message, he used to respond like pretty quickly. So.
And kien vera hen għal dawk tal-reset. Because he gave them the exact same assignment. It's just that he made task 1, which was the lexer or the parser, whatever, from 20%, he made it worth 40%. That was the only change he made. And then he made the very last task worth a lot less.
Yeah.
So, nice guy. Like I said, it feels maybe a bit underwhelming after the rant. Cause bro, semester 1, second year, everything was on top of each other.
It was a really bad semester.
We had, let me find the units biex ngħidlek eżatt units kellna, because I feel like this deserves the full breakdown. The semester
It was really packed. That semester.
Tell me, we had artificial intelligence in education.
That was easy.
That was easy, but
It took a lot of work.
easy. The AR app, group project, the Erba, I did it all myself.
I did help.
You did. Oh yeah, you found out.
Probably
how it
from
works.
the entire team, I was the second person who did the most work.
Okay, I did 90%. You did 8%, and the others did 1% each.
Who were the others? I remember who the others were.
And, So we had in this first semester game AI, machine learning, introduction to classification, search, and optimization. That was my lowest mark apart from formal in uni. Web intelligence, formal languages and automata, object-oriented programming, reinforcement learning, and artificial intelligence in education, or computer vision.
No, computer vision was set in the second
Second
semester.
semester. So man,
It was packed. But then we had a lighter second semester.
yeah, second semester was fun. Second semester, apart from compiler, was fun. Computer vision was easy. He's a practical guy. The tutor is very practical. IPT, I really enjoyed. I had fun. I made the
Okay, and I
VR
made my game controlled by hand gestures.
The gap was fun.
The game was also pretty
That was
fun,
fun.
yeah.
So I cannot complain about second semester.
Those were the only stuff there.
Well, like, oh yeah, we've already been over third semester. So.
So,
But man, second year, first semester, That has
It sits in a blip in Jan's mind as his semester of PTSD.
for many reasons. Juve, Burger King incident, all of the assignments piling up on each other. The absolute state I was
Post-weekend there.
in. Man, I'm telling you, October 2022 or 23?
23, I think.
October 22. Because October 23 was third year.
No, 23 ta. No, it was 22 already.
October 22 to March 2023 was rough. That was rough. That was a horrible. It's not like I was in any. It was just when you think you've hit rock bottom, you find out that rock bottom has a basement. Because Hanina, second year, first semester, you know what got me through it? It's gonna sound fucking stupid. Fairy Tale, bro. I was binging Fairy Tale. And Minecraft hardcore. I remember I was working
You were, yes.
I was working
remember.
on machine learning, and while my genetic algorithms would run, I'd open up a hardcore Minecraft world and just play that.
I remember you'd stream it to like the Discord.
Mm-hmm. And I remember like when I was.
Was that also the? No, that wasn't the year of COVID. Well,
No, that's before uni.
that's before uni.
We should do a prior to uni episode
Maybe.
about the early COVID days. But who gives a shit?
No one.
Exactly. This might be relatable for those who did the unit with us, the course with us, you know, and maybe some others who like to listen about
Or
ourselves.
maybe someone who's going into the course of preparing himself mentally.
They know the syllabus is so different.
Yeah.
The syllabus is so it's not the same course anymore, huh? It's not.
Back
the same
in my
course.
days, but literally.
But that is university. I think, you know, the thing is, I feel like many people are going to watch this and be like, yeah, you call these university units from hell. Many of these seem really like they were difficult because you managed your time terribly. Which, you know, fair enough, but fuck you. So I'm going to claim that they are units from hell. Now, this is going to go up. By the time this goes up, Skaftuni may or may not have been recorded, Skaftuni 2.5. It depends on how quickly I edit. Probably it will go up before, in fact. But our next episode is going to be Skaftuni 2.5 after this. That comes out on August 4th to celebrate our second birthday. And if you've made it till the very end, I think they deserve a bit of a sneak peek at what they will be competing for this time. You know, because who makes it to the very end of a Bread for Toast episode? If you did, you know, you get to see these exclusive Bread for Toast medals, custom 3D printed, you know. And they'll be competing for this. We're not going to reveal anything about the format or about the participants until closer to the date, but those are your medals. And
If you're curious, stay tuned, hit subscribe,
no, ring the bell for
ring
the
the bell for the
notifications.
notification.
But that was episode 24, University Units from Hell. We hope you guys enjoyed. That felt good. That felt good to get
That
off my
is really
chest.
good.
I think there are some clippable moments as well.
I think you've been,
So-
a weight has gone off your chest.
Bro, honestly, 10 minutes could pass and I could do that whole rant again.
Ciao, boss.